Shane Mosley Jr. So this is pretty much a hometown fight for you, man. Just based off your bloodline, your father's whole career. How does it feel to be a part of this card here in Pomona?
It feels great, man. I'm just real happy to be in my hometown. Like when we drove in, I just saw the city hall and stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, I'm back at home, so it feels good.
Yeah. It was rumored that you could have possibly been in there with Jaime Munguia. Obviously, you're not, but just give us any insight on what happened there with Munguia and moving forward, getting a win this Saturday. What does that hold for you?
Yeah, man. Things didn't pan out with Jaime Munguia, but that's here nor there. Honestly, we're just looking forward to getting the win this time, and what's coming next is I'm looking to be a middleweight champion, and that's what my plan and my goal is. I know this fight is a super middleweight, but it was kind of last minute. But I plan on fighting at 160 pounds and becoming a world champion.
Mm-hmm. Will your father be attending the fight, and how does he feel about?
Yeah. He'll be there. He'll be in the crowd, and he's super happy to be there and show his support.
What's your father's opinion about you fighting? You kind of heard throughout the years when we ask fighters if they want their kids to be fighters, they tend to say no. They tend to not be big fans of it, but I don't know how.
It's because fighters understand the risk that goes in with fighting and how hard it is. It's a hard life. I know we get the glory and stuff like this from stuff like that, and it looks cool on TV, but it's a hard life. And so I think that's why fighters say that, because especially with fighters that have success, their kids don't really see that struggle that they see. They just see the benefit. And I see that from my son, right? He sees, people go, oh my God, your grandfather's Sugar Shane, your dad's Shane Mosley Jr. Like, wow, he sees that and he's like, I want to box too. And I have hesitation for him as well, because it's like, yeah, I know that you see the glory in it, but you don't see how hard it is and what my body has to go through, my mental has to go through, and all these things. Even how people love you when you're up, but they kind of discard you when you're down. You know what I mean? And that's in everything. So I think that's the reason why fathers say that to their sons, especially if they have achieved a high level. But my father basically told me when I told him that I was going to be a fighter that you can die. You know what I mean? That was his reaction. You can die. So know that you got to take this serious. It's life or death, just like that. And we've seen a lot of people pass away in this game. We don't like to talk about it that much, and it's not very glorified, but it's true. And a lot of people get brain damage or things like that. So we got to take this game with a lot of seriousness, so I can understand. But I took that into account, and I'm here now. Co-main event in my hometown, baby. And I'm looking up. And just because I have my losses and all those things, that's not going to deter me, and that's not going to stop me. And I feel like in that manner, I'm kind of a throwback, just like like the Golden Boy, like my dad. You know what I mean? Like I'm a throwback like those guys. So I'm just going to keep on grinding, keep on reaching for the stars, and one day I will have the middleweight world championship and maybe even the super middleweight world championship. Maybe I get a fight with Canelo one day.
You aspire to be a world champion. I got to ask you about Jake Paul. I think he's fighting.
It's next Sunday.
Yeah, and you guys had him in the gym, so you've definitely seen him work. He's used your gym before. Just give us your thoughts on how he's progressed, how he's looking, and
I think what he's doing is great for the sport. I think it is another way to get eyes on our sport, the sport that we love. And I love the fact that as he's doing that, he's also taking it very seriously. He's putting all in the work. He's not just like, oh yeah, I'm fighting whoever. I mean, yeah, they're not, the guys that he beat and knocked out weren't particularly boxers, but they were fighters in their own right, and they achieved a lot of great things. And for you to beat them and knock them out the way they did, like Tyron Woodley, like Anderson Silva, those are great achievements. Like, even though they're not boxers, they're fighters. And he did that, and so it shows you what hard work can do and belief in yourself. And hey, if he wins this fight, the WBC said that they're going to rate him.
Yeah.
wow.
You might see him there.
We're talking about a rated guy that was a quote unquote YouTuber, but he's a fighter now. And so I love what he's doing. I think it's great, and I hope to see him all the way at the top, baby.
You know, Tommy's he's not old, he's not washed up, he's young. He's kind of still learning how to be a professional fighter too, but what do you think? Can he pull it off? Can he beat Tommy Fury?
We'll see. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why we love fights. You know what I mean? Tommy is a progressing fighter, but he's a good fighter. You know what I mean? You can see that he comes from a good pedigree, you know what I mean? And he does some good things. So this is a great challenge for them both. And I think this is a good stage to be on, and I love to see it. I think it's great.
Shane, just real quickly, last one for me.
Of course.
Just being that you're on, being promoted by Golden Boy, I'm just wondering what conversations have you had with your dad about his fights with Oscar and things like that? Maybe you remember when those fights happened.
I love those fights. Those are some of the best memories of my life. The first fight with Oscar De La Hoya changed my life for forever. You know what I mean? And that made my dad a superstar. You know what I mean? And so that from there, it just changed my perspective of fighting. And yeah, my dad was already a champion, but he wasn't a superstar yet. And people didn't really believe him in the same way. But when he beat the Golden Boy, they gave him some more respect. So those fights were great to me. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I think it's 1-1. I think it's 1-1. I mean, I love my dad, but I think it's 1-1. And I think, hey, you know what I mean? Who knows what would have happened in the third fight? I wish we would have saw it, but it is what it is, and we move forward. But if I'm gonna be honest, I think it was 1-1.
We appreciate that, Shane. Appreciate the honesty. Thank you.